A pleasant good day to you and yours, and welcome to Voices today, the 8th of July 2026. Usually on this Wednesday we have Africa, but there's a ship in. You got to make those dollars, so most likely he's out there making that money. So I'm here with you today, and today we're going to delve into things regional, things that are happening in and around the Caribbean, not necessarily on St. Kitts and Nevis, but in the Caribbean, because we are intertwined, we are linked, and if you are very observant, you will realize that what happens to one island when it comes to dealing with the foreign so-called developed powers happens to all of us. So today I'm going to play for you some clips that relate to the Prime Minister of Jamaica. And I want you to listen keenly to these clips because it shows how our leaders tend to contradict themselves. And when I say contradict themselves, I mean contradict themselves ridiculously, to a point where you ask yourself if they went to school and they got a basic understanding of relating to people, or is it that they think that the people who elected them are complete buffoons? Because when I listened to this interview and a bit of a chit-chat with the Prime Minister of Jamaica, I was absolutely baffled. So I want you to listen. Now, occasionally I'm going to play some other clips that link with whatever the Jamaican Prime Minister is saying, to sort of buttress and to strengthen the ridiculousness of his statements. So I'm going to start with this one, and let me see if I can find, because I have them kind of titled, and this one is entitled Andrew Holness, and I titled it In the Interest of the People. Remember I told you that he is really in his statements contradicting himself. So I want you to listen, because this is supposed to be where he says he's working for the interests of the Jamaican people. Now, again, let's not just look at it that this is Andrew Holness, because the things that are happening to him in Jamaica are the very same things that are happening to our other leaders. I picked this because our other leaders, we are not privy to having interviews with them, because either they're afraid of the media or they feel they're too big to come to the media. So we don't get much. We don't get them in the spotlight where the media can ask them pertinent questions. As a matter of fact, when the media does have an opportunity to ask them questions, they don't ask the real hard questions. It seems as if though they try to pamper to the leaders, and it does us no benefit. So this is why at least Andrew Holness has the guts to go out there. But when you listen to him, I wonder, as I said before, if he thinks that we are a bunch of buffoons. So listen to this.
It is being said on the streets of Jamaica, a man who does not respect sovereignty, a man who is not schooled in the art of diplomacy, a man who is prepared to march into another country and take out a president in Maduro. It is felt that your administration is afraid of him. The term is you are so scared of him that you are ducking certain things and kowtowing to the Trump administration.
Cliff, let me be clear. Examine your own statement.
I'm putting to you,
but I'm responding to
and
you.
I'm putting to you the sentiments on the streets that the Holness administration, unlike the Michael Manley administration of the 1970s, who stood up for Jamaica, that you're not prepared to do that.
Are you pulling me back into the 70s? I addressed it in Parliament.
I'm contextualizing.
You're contextualizing. But let's be clear that it is in our interest and it is in the interest of our friends. The mantle I wear, I'm not a revolutionary. You know, you talk about the President of the United States. The notion of a unipolar world, that's gone. We are living now in what is considered to be a multipolar world. And in that multipolar world, countries are either competing or cooperating. And we are a country that is considered, which is highly considered, a country that has done extremely well.
Now, you heard him say that it is in the interest of. Listen to the way the journalist phrased the question, okay? And you heard Holness answer, it is in our interest and it is in the interests of our friends. Soon as he says this is in our interest, then he right after says it is in. So which is it really? Is it in the interests of your people or is it in the interests of your friends? And sometimes when you ask these people a question, they jump off into jargon that is of no real consequence, because I don't see where he had to jump off into multipolar and bipolar and, you know. Is it in, are you working in the interest? And I love the way the journalist asked the question. It was a hard question, and he didn't hedge about it. He said, on the street it is felt that you are afraid. Why can't we hear our journalists coming out and doing their jobs? The problem is, it seems as if the majority of the Caribbean journalists have taken pages out of the worldwide journalists. They pamper to the leaders. They find themselves in situations where, for whatever reason, they have to then compromise themselves, and we don't get any wiser. So right now, if you listen to the worldwide media, they are more comfortable telling you lies, giving you propaganda, than searching for the truth. And we know that as a fact because when we peruse the internet, we hear what the worldwide media is saying, and it is contradicted by what we know otherwise. Hello, caller? Me. Hello, caller? Okay, try again and do so quickly because I'm going to be trying to get you these clips because they are of vital importance. Hello, caller. Hello, caller.
Hello.
Hello.
Quick, good morning, good morning.
Good day to you, Cleo.
How you doing?
I'm fine, thank you. Good to hear your voice.
Okay. No, now I'm listening to what you just played, right? And Andrew made me laugh because he said we are a country that is doing great. Mm-hmm. What is he doing great by? What, cooperating? Is that what he's trying to tell?
You understand? But as we go into the different clips, it's going to become more clear, you know. You're going to see where he puts his foot in his mouth every step of the way. But go ahead.
Yeah, but I'm going to continue listening because really and truly, it sounds like that's what he great for, cooperating. It sounds like he's more interest in his friend, as he said.
Yeah, yeah.
His friend and for his own people and his country. It's more pleasing the friend.
Yeah.
I don't know who the friend is.
Yeah. Well, we're gonna find out further as we go along. Yeah.
Well, I'll continue to listen.
Okay. So
I'll call back if anything.
Okay. Yeah. So I'm gonna, for your benefit, I'm gonna play it from the top again because there's another part in there that concerns me in this clip. So let me play this again.
It is being said on the streets of Jamaica, a man who does not respect sovereignty, a man who is not schooled in the art of diplomacy, a man who is prepared to march into another country and take out a president in Maduro. It is felt that your administration is afraid of him. The term is you are so scared of him that you are ducking certain things and kowtowing to the Trump administration.
Cliff, let me be clear. Examine your own statement.
I'm putting to you,
but I'm responding to
and
you.
I'm putting to you the sentiments on the streets that the Holiness administration, unlike the Michael Manley administration of the 1970s, who stood up for Jamaica, that you're not prepared to do that.
Why are you pulling me back into the 70s? I addressed it in Parliament.
I'm contextualizing.
You're contextualizing. But let's be clear that it is in our interest, and it is in the interest of our friends. The mantle I wear, I'm not a revolutionary. You know, you talk about the President of the United States. The notion of a unipolar world, that's gone. We are living now in what is considered to be a multipolar world. And in that multipolar world, countries are either competing or cooperating. And we are a country that is considered, which is highly considered, a country that has done extremely well.
Okay. There's a part where he said to the journalist, examine your statement. And usually when they do that, it is a way of intimidation. It is kind of putting you in the spotlight and saying, listen to what you're saying. Are you clear on what you're saying? But you note, the individual did not back down. He was clear on what he was saying. Also, Holness went on to say, I'm not a warrior, I'm not a fighter, I'm not a revolutionary. Where did that come in? I mean, is he trying to tell us that he is, as the people were saying, you're afraid? Is that some sort of a softened way of saying, well, you're incapable of standing up to this incompetent leader of the world? Hello, caller.
You know, Clint, greetings.
Greetings.
Yeah, we let us pontificate a bit on this word fear, because as the journalist said, he's afraid. But let us look at the word fear, Clint. This fear is deep. It is very deep, and that's the thing about our politicians in the Caribbean and, to go further, on the African continent, because of fear, Clint. And I'm not even talking about the fear of being sanctioned. Now, it reminds me when, after the whole world heard the President of the United States refer to the African countries as shithole countries, then we had 5 African presidents was invited to the White House. Then 2 went there, which is in the President of Rwanda and the President of the DRC, Paul Kagame and Felix Tshisekedi. And they went there to make a peace deal as to what is happening in the DRC, Clint. Now, I don't know if President Trump, Felix, or Kagame ever came and said they would achieve peace. But what I heard the President of the United States said, and these were his words, a lot of people are going to make a lot of money out of this deal. Those was the President Trump word pertaining to the peace deal that these 2 African presidents was invited to the White House to try to bring closure to what is happening in the DRC today, Clint. Now, you listen to the journalist with Holiness, and he emphasized on the word afraid. But Clint, let us be real. Most of our people are afraid. Our politicians are afraid. Now,
but let me ask you. Let me ask you.
Just a moment, Quinn.
Yeah.
The younger generations are coming, and the Europeans have said that they are in support of young politicians taking young people taking lead into politics. But the young people who are going into politics, to get into politics, you have to recognize that it's a area of sacrifice. Even if a politician goes in and go in recognizing this is, even if it costs me my life to stand up for my people and my serenity. Politics today Anyone vying to go into politics should recognize it's an area of sacrifice, Quint. Because if you ain't realize, well, the least they can do is to kill the body, but they cannot kill your spirit. And here's where our people are at, Quint. Going along to get along.
I don't want you to go too long today. I want you to be succinct because I want to make sure I get these clips played in. But I was going to ask you if you didn't think that our foreparents, when they were brought here and the things they went through, that they weren't afraid. But did that stop them from fighting?
Well, you see, Quint, as some of them said, and what they did also, they said it was rather for them to drown in the ocean than to be enslaved to that system. No, that was bravery. They sacrificed their life to let the ocean take them because they know they are connected. You see, our people are lack, Quint. Our people, our politicians, and our people are lack. Our ancestors knew the connection that they were with the elements. That's why they said, let me drown in the ocean than to be in servitude to that wicked system. And here we are today because they have changed the court and they give different names to the same regime. Our politicians have become dogs of a king. They're going along to get along, Quint. Anyway,
Okay.
Quint, I'm going to pause. I hope you get my drift, but
Yes.
I want to listen to the rest clip you want to play.
Yeah.
This is serious, Quint.
Okay.
This ain't a time for soft talk.
Yeah. And that is why I'm trying to do what I'm doing, because it seems to me from my vantage point as an older person that it seems as if though either the younger people aren't aware of the threat to their future, or they don't care. And anywhere you turn it, it is of concern. So I'm going to take a bit of a commercial break, and I'm going to come back. And when I get back, I'll play for you another clip.
We're different. We're 98.9. 98.9. Win FM.
It's in the feeling in our we talk. It's in the meaning in our spot. It is the thing that sets us apart. Who we are. 'Cause the rhythm of life keeps bumping. Together going strong. No matter what, we keep things flowing. Before we will go all in. Our hands up in the sky. Celebrating. Come let your rhythm flow.
Come, build with us at Hostels Building and Nevis Centers. We don't just sell materials, we help you build your dreams. Whether it's a new home, a renovation, or a DIY project, we're here to make it happen. That's why we say, build with us from foundation to finish. Come to our stores where we have the best in building materials, hardware, tools, paints, expert advice, and more. Whatever you need, you can count on us. So if you're ready to get started, build with us. With Hostels Building and Nevis Centers, you're not just building a structure, you're building a future. Let us help you create something amazing. Dream with us, plan with us, grow with us, build with us. Come build with us at Hostels Building and Nevis Centers today. Build with us at Hosfords.
Buster! We run things, things are on we. Buster! Buster! Living color, do it differently. Buster! Buster! Large and in charge, like for the party. Buster! Buster! We set the pace, then everybody follow it.
7 flavors, best taste, Buster, bolder, better, better. Pick your color.
We set the pace, then everybody follow it.
Buster, live in full color.
Buster!
And welcome back. The time, 28 minutes moving away from the 10 o'clock hour. I'm going to go straight into the next clip. Remember the first clip I entitled, In the Interest of Our People. But you heard him contradict him, kind of not be sure whether he was fighting for the interests of his people or the interests of his friends. Now, this one is entitled In the Interest of Jamaica. So we are more specific now This one is entitled In the Interest of Jamaica. So listen to this.
You must be wondering, how are you going to be dealing with the U.S. Ambassador Designate, Carrie Lake, who told the U.S. Foreign Relations Committee examining her nomination to be the next U.S. Ambassador to Jamaica that one of her 4 priorities is to ensure that China's growing influence in Jamaica and the rest of the Caribbean is halted and America become once again the preeminent power in Jamaica and the Caribbean.
I do not speak on U.S. strategy and their interests. I speak on Jamaica's strategy and our interests and how we cooperate. China is here. China is working here. We are a country that believes in a rules-based multilateral system. I listened very keenly to her interview in the U.S. Congress, and she pointed out several areas in which she intends to work with us on. Of course, the hemispheric issue of China, it depends on what the U.S. will do.
Now you hear that big contradiction again? He was asked a question and he said, I don't speak on America's interests. I speak on Jamaica's interests. He's the Prime Minister of Jamaica. But you hear how he ended? He ends it by saying, it all depends on what the U.S. will do. Let me again play this for you so you can hear.
You must be wondering, how are you going to be dealing with the U.S. Ambassador Designate, Carrie Lake, who told the U.S. Foreign Relations Committee examining her nomination to be the next U.S. Ambassador to Jamaica that one of her 4 priorities is to ensure that China's growing influence in Jamaica and the rest of the Caribbean is halted and America become once again the preeminent power in Jamaica and the Caribbean.
I do not speak on U.S. strategy and their interests. I speak on Jamaica's strategy and our interests and how we cooperate. China is here. China is working here. We are a country that believes in a rules-based multilateral system. I listened very keenly to her interview in the U.S. Congress, and she pointed out several areas in which she intends to work with us on. Of course, the hemispheric issue of China, it depends on what the U.S. will do.
Okay, so you heard it again. Well, I'm going to play a clip that goes right into the individual, the lady they were speaking about. Notice I played 2 clips. In both of them, the leader of Jamaica doesn't seem to be sure or clear on whether he stands in the interests of Jamaica. He's hedging. But listen to the individual who's supposed to be the ambassador to the Caribbean and Jamaica. Listen to her now. And this clip I entitled Jamaica's Interest or America's Interest. Now listen to her.
Ms. Lake, what can you tell us about your take on the best way to help Jamaica? As ambassador confirmed, you intend to focus more on aid or on lifting trade burdens, on increasing economic opportunities for the island?
Thank you, Senator Lee, for that question. I think it's an, if confirmed, we're going to look at everything. We're going to hit the ground running and look at ways to expand American business opportunities and try to level the playing field, because right now, as we know, when we're competing with for a contract or a tender with the CCP or CCP-controlled company, oftentimes they'll underbid the United States. We want to make sure that we're working with Jamaica to make sure that there's a level playing field so that American businesses have a real shot to do great work. We know that we provide better quality work. We hire Jamaicans, and we want to make sure that we're assisting and also allowing for American companies to expand. I think there's big companies that could help right now. There's a huge need as they're rebuilding after this Category 5, which devastated especially the southern and western part of the island. And if we don't take an active approach to getting American companies in to bid and get some of these big purchases and big jobs, we're going to see the vacuum filled by more Chinese influence in that country. And that's concerning to me. I think it's concerning to both sides of the aisle when it comes to what China has done and their influence.
Now you hear the big difference? You hear the big difference? She was asked a question specific to Jamaica, you know. But you heard America come in 3-4 times. Let me play that again for you. I want you to listen keenly. The Jamaican Prime Minister is hedging on whether he's defending and representing his people, but listen to, she's not the president, mind you. She's an ambassador, but you can hear her agenda clearly. And she also contradicts herself because the way she's pushing the American agenda, you could see that Jamaica is way down the line. If you listen to her, the interest she's pushing is for America to hold the monopoly in Jamaican business and corporation so that America makes the bulk of the money from Jamaica and hire the one or two or whoever they want to and push out China. That is the big thing. Let me play this again for you.
Ms. Lake, what can you tell us about your take on the best way to help Jamaica? As ambassador confirmed, you intend to focus more on aid or on lifting trade burdens, on increasing economic opportunities for the island?
Now you notice he asks, do you intend to lift trade, make certain things? And she doesn't go into that, you know. Listen to her.
Thank you, Senator Lee, for that question. I think it's an, if confirmed, we're going to look at everything. We're going to hit the ground running and look at ways to expand American business opportunities and try to level the playing field, because right now, as we know, when we're competing with for a contract or a tender with the CCP or the CCP-controlled company, oftentimes they'll underbid the United States. We want to make sure that we're working with Jamaica to make sure that there's a level playing field so that American businesses have a real shot to do great work. We know that we provide better quality work. We hire Jamaicans, and we want to make sure that we're assisting and also allowing for American companies to expand. I think there's big companies that could help right now. There's a huge need as they're rebuilding after this Category 5, which devastated especially the southern and western part of the island. And if we don't take an active approach to getting American companies in to bid and get some of these big purchases and big jobs, we're going to see the vacuum filled by more Chinese influence in that country. And that's concerning to me. I think it's concerning to both sides of the aisle when it comes to what China has done and their influence.
Nowhere in there did she say anything that would really benefit Jamaica. Apart from, we want the big jobs and we hire Jamaicans. So let's look at it like this. So the American company comes in, gets the big contract to make a whole lot of money, and then they hire who they want. But the fact that they're the one getting the big contract means they're going to make the bulk of the money. And that money is not going to remain in Jamaica. It's going to go to whoever they subcontract. But the big money and the big contractors are going to be Americans. We've seen this over and over. This is not a new playbook. Hello, caller? Do call back quickly because I'm going to I want you to be succinct because hello, caller? Hello, caller?
Yes, Quinn. I mean, you literally say everything that I wanted to say. Because, I mean, you realize she ain't even touch on the trading or anything.
No.
Her focus is, she mainly stating, and so then she mainly stating we there to push out China and for America to take over.
Yeah.
That is what she's literally telling us. She's not there. Her interests really have nothing to do with Jamaica. It's not about bettering Jamaica or Jamaicans. Her interest is she's pushing the American narrative, come in and take over.
And Cleo, the reason why I do this is because, like I said, this is what is happening to our leader too. This is what is happening to the leader in Trinidad. This is what is happening to the leader in Antigua. This is what is happening to our St. Kitts and Nevis. All of them are being treated the same way. Fortunately, we're only able to hear Jamaica's prime minister because our prime minister and most of the Caribbean leaders, we're not privy to what's happening. We don't hear. So we don't know. So they come and they give us a story.
Which which is true. And because you see, when it comes to our island, St. Kitts Nevis, we're so small, right? That's why you see this Destiny project. We don't have much for them to come and take in all. We got very little land.
That's all we have. And that's what they want.
And Destiny is part of the whole narrative, is take the land.
Yeah.
And do it under this guise as we coming to improve and we coming to supply jobs for your people.
You imagine the kind of
they're coming to oppress you.
You imagine the kind of money they're gonna make when they get this. I mean, I wonder how our leaders need to be educated as to the history. Because when they come, they get this land. They're going to use the very same citizenship by investment to make money. Why you think nothing has happened? Because they want the land. The land is the foundation of what they're going to do. They came, they show us all this big AI-produced picture of this and that, but they can't do that. That takes a lot of millions of dollars. What they want to do is to get the land, and from they got the land, they own the land. From they own the land, we can't tell them what to do with the land. We can't tell them, you need to start doing investment tomorrow. They're going to take their own time. They're going to make sure they get buyers, and they're going to make a killing off of this. And then we're going to get this.
But that's what it's all about, because, and I saw yesterday that the EU now is demanding that the Caribbean must pull back their citizen by investmentship passport. They wanted to pull back that, but they have their own investment thing. What they do, they call it investment. They say they don't sell their passport. You have to invest in the country.
Well, we say the same things too, but
exactly, isn't that how ours started?
But we don't see the investments. Huh?
Exactly.
Yeah.
You see the deceive there, you see the control.
Yeah.
While they big up themselves, they pull you down. You're done small already, and they're trying to make you even smaller, keep you small.
Yeah.
So you must not expand and you must not increase. Only they alone can increase.
Yeah.
And you must stay under their foot. Why is that?
Okay, I want to play another clip.
All right.
And I play these mainly for the younger people because it seems as if though the younger people, there's an election that will come and you must be informed. Mr. Chesley Hamilton said it recently last Saturday. He said he wants people to be informed. You must not go and just do things brashly. You must be informed as to why am I going to the polls? Why am I going to vote for this individual? What will they bring that will benefit me? And you will know this by knowing how they're doing business, who they're dealing with, and how it benefits you. So I'm going to play another clip. And this clip, again, the first one was for the interests of the people of Jamaica, but he was hedging there. The second one was for the interests of Jamaica more specifically, and he ended by saying, but it all depends on what they do. But you're the Prime Minister of Jamaica. This is the foreign minister, and she's clear on what she wants to do. But you as the Prime Minister can't be clear on what you want. So now I'm going to play this clip, and this one I entitled, We Are Helping Our Friends. So who are these friends? Listen to this clip.
The United States has asked countries that it considers its friends to assist them in managing their immigration challenges. Now, who are we as Jamaicans? Are we part of the global system? Are we a friend of the United States? Are we looking to the United States to assist with things? These are questions that we have to start to ask ourselves. I urge Jamaicans to put away the notion of thinking about our relationships only in the prism of the 70s and 80s. Now is a different time. Jamaica is an independent country. Jamaica is a country that is part of a multilateral system. Do we only assist in exchange for something? Is the relationship always transactional?
Now, when you listen to him, this is where they fool us, you know. This is where, if we're not informed, you get fooled. And this is why I say I want you young people to listen. Because if I hadn't played the clips before, and I just played this, you would say, well, he sounds good. He says are we only going to assist when we want something? I mean, don't we go to them for assistance? And you say, yeah, they help us, so we should help them. But I thought you said that we were, or you said in there that you are an independent country. And juxtapose what you just said to what the foreign minister, the projected foreign minister, is saying, where everything is America, America, America. But you said, where we want to help our friends. But listen, I'm going to play this clip now, and this clip is damning. Because when you hear what Prime Minister Andrew Holness said, if you're not informed, you won't understand. But here's to inform you, because the friends he's speaking about, he's saying, our friends ask us to help with their, foreign, their immigration thing, which sounds, it doesn't sound too serious. But listen to Marco Rubio, the friend he's speaking about, and what the friend wants from their friends. Listen to this.
We are actively searching for other countries to take people from third countries. So we are actively, not just El Salvador, we are working with other countries to say, we want to send you some of the most despicable human beings to your countries. Will you do that as a favor to us? And the further away from America, the better, so they can't come back across the border. I'm not apologetic about it. The president was elected to keep America safe and to get rid of a bunch of perverts and pedophiles and child rapists out of our country.
Now, we've heard all of our leaders telling us all the time, oh, they're going to be sending, no criminals. This is Marco Rubio. And the audacity of this man, and to show you how our leaders have to be daft, because the man is clear. The man says we want to get rid of the most despicable people, and we want our friends to help us. Now, tell me what friend comes to you and say, I want to put the most wicked criminals in your house, and you're going to accept them because you're my friend. I want them to be sleeping in your house with your children and your wife, but they're rapists, they're pedophiles, they're everything. And because you're our friends, you must, now, if you're not informed, if you didn't know Marco Rubio made this statement, you would say, well, we asked them for help. But I'm going to play this again for you, because I want you to understand when our leaders come and tell us nonsense and they know what is going on. And I keep saying it, this is always going to work because they keep working as individual countries. You want to tell me they can't understand that the United States and Europe has been using us because we're fragmented? Does St. Kitts Nevis think they can go and stand up against the U.S.? Does Antigua think they can go and do it? But if you get together as a body, look, recently a flight came straight from Africa and went to Barbados. Straight from Africa, went to Barbados, exempt of every European tax. Because how the Europeans set it up, you want to go to this place, you got to go to them. You got to go to them, go into their country, and all kind of big monies. It is more expensive for you to go to one of your neighboring countries than it is if you're going to fly directly to them. Don't you see they're doing this because you're fragmented? But here's the Barbados leader in her own little way trying to say, look, we're going to have to but why can't you unite? So let me play Marco Rubio again for you. And I want you to listen to the man. The man he even says, I'm not apologizing about this. Listen.
We are actively searching for other countries to take people from third countries. So we are actively, not just El Salvador, we are working with other countries to say, we want to send you some of the most despicable human beings to your countries. Will you do that as a favor to us? And the further away from America, the better, so they can't come back across the border. I'm not apologetic about it. The president was elected to keep America safe and to get rid of a bunch of perverts and pedophiles and child rapists out of our country.
You hear what he said? He was elected to keep America safe. So what do we elect our leaders for? To keep America safe or to keep us safe? So how is it they're putting the interests of America ahead of us? When Marco Rubio can boldly say, we want you to take these the further away from America, and hear how, let me play again, Let me play again so you hear how the Jamaican Prime Minister phrases this. Listen to this.
The United States has asked countries that it considers its friends to assist them in managing their immigration challenges.
You hear how he put it? You see how these people think that we are buffoons? Now, when we hear that, if you're not informed, you say, yeah, we can help them. But when you listen to Marco Rubio's statement, then you say, you're crazy? Help them with... Hello, caller.
Quinn.
Yes.
You people, our leaders are so stupid, right? And then remember our own prime minister come out and say about how these people are with due diligence and they are vetted and they are safe. They are not this and they are not that. But Rubio is telling us who they are sending out.
Yes.
But our leaders come and fool us, fool the people. And then for Andrew to say, they are our friends. Dude, they don't have you as no friend.
But
They
Cleo,
don't have us as any friend.
but Cleo, we hear not only Caribbean, we hear African leaders with this disease that is in the Congo, right? And there's a particular African country, I keep forgetting the name, Journey reminded me some time ago. And the leader of that country is saying the same thing as the Jamaica. We are helping our friends. But in his country, that disease isn't there. But the Americans want to put a place in his country to cheat American citizens. And we have a statement where Marco Rubio says, we can't bring them to America, you're crazy?
But yet you want to put in somebody else's country. And these foolish black leaders think that they mean you any good. They're not your friends. They don't have you as a friend. Speaking about friend, did you see the video? Did you heard about the 18-year-old, I think it's 17 or 18-year-old who went out on 4th of July with his white friends on a boat. They went out and the white people come back, but the black young man ain't come back?
No, I don't know of that.
So you see these friends, they're not our friends.
Yeah, we got to know who our friends are. And recently we have been seeing some things happening around the world, and especially in the United States of America, that are very concerning and should be very concerning to black people. On the 4th of July, because of a storm, everything was rained out. But on that very same day, you had 400 white men marching for white power.
No.
You go and when I say these things, go and Google it. 400, imagine, this is a plot, They make sure everything is rained out, but yet still 400 white men in mask, all of them in mask, which reminds us of the Ku Klux Klan. All of them are in mask, and they walk through the city without not one guard or anything looking on. Let it was 50 black men. You would have seen the difference.
So you are so right. And our Caribbean leaders, they just seem to just like they are sucking on the same lemon. They just are repeating the same nonsense and think they can just deceive the public. So.
Yeah.
I mean, come on, ridiculous. They're not our friend. They're not your friend to tell us, be helping out our friend. Why don't they? You hear what Rubio said? He made sure he send them far where they can't come across the border.
Yeah.
So they're not sending them to Mexico.
That's what I'm saying.
Okay? They're making sure there's some water between. And we eat that mess up.
Yeah.
Continue play on, Queen.
Okay. So we had another caller, but I missed them. And if you want to get in, do that quickly because I'm going to be running through my clips. Right now, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to take another commercial break, and I'll be back.
You found the sound. 98.9 Win FM.
Luxury isn't just worn, it's won. Introducing the new Precious Gem Super Ticket from Caribbean Lottery. 4 games in 1 ticket, 62 chances to win, and the chance to multiply your prize up to 20 times. Scratch to reveal diamonds, rubies, emeralds, and sapphires, with prizes up to $200,000. This isn't just a scratch ticket, it's luxury in every scratch. Grab your Precious Gem Super Ticket today at Caribbean Lottery retailers island-wide. Must be 21 or older to play. Please play responsibly.
Magnum, my brand. Everybody put a Magnum in the air now. From you a drink Magnum, make me see. Take charge of things now your place now. From the river to the beach to the street. Hot Magnum when me have in a me hand there. He are a sipper, she tell me sweet. Look for me watch for your quick time check. Yeah. Right now a Magnum a for your beat. Enjoy yourself every day of the week with a Magnum. My life I forget sweeter. Must be 18 years and older to drink. Drink responsibly.
And welcome back. The time, 4 minutes moving up to the 11 o'clock hour. Hello, caller.
Quint.
Hello. Go ahead.
You know, Marco Rubio.
Remind me of the name of that place where they want to put that facility.
The Ebola facility is in Kenya with President William Ruto.
Yeah, William Ruto, yeah. The leader who's sounding very much like the Jamaican leader. We're helping our friends, you know.
Yeah.
We're helping our friends to destroy us.
Yeah, but, I mean, when you listen to Marco Rubio in the clip that you played, Quint, and he's naming the characteristic of these people, rapists, the most despicable people, to get them out of America. But Quint, you know, when I listened Mark just now, you know what came to mind? He wants to rid America out of the despicable rapists and all those kind of illicit activity. But what is America and Europe history when it comes to raping, coming into our home, raping our sisters, our mother, our aunts, and what they have done to our brothers? But here today, Mark is speaking with such boldness, and our we have to stop referring to them as politicians. They are not, I'm sorry, as leaders. We have to stop referring to them as our leaders.
But
but
you know why they do this journey? Because you remember the old saying that put a book in the hand of a black person and you can hide anything in it and they won't know?
Yeah.
Well, let's put it a little further. We now have all these smartphones, and on a smartphone, all you have to do is Google information. But look at what our young people prefer to look at. They prefer to look at sex and grinding and they don't they don't peruse these things, so they don't know. So that is why our leaders can come and so when our leaders want to do anything, see what they do? They get a band, and the band makes some. Mind you, I like that the bands makes money, but they don't do it for the interest of just recreation. They do it to keep you dumbed down. So you go and you wind up.
It's a distraction.
Yeah.
It's a distraction. You see, we are distracted. Europe and America is distracting our politicians, and our politician is distracting us. They keep the trust function, and they give us we just go for, a meal. We got to get our belly full for maybe 6 hours, and live entertainment, and that is the distraction.
Yeah.
Because they're not bringing anything to us to tell us what the plans, going ahead. How are they going to print? I mean, I don't know, man. I don't know where we are. I mean, I know where I am at, but like you say, Antigua cannot come up against America as an island. But we have CARICOM, and we can backtrack on Mia Motley, but no one lent support to what Mia Motley was saying.
No
CARICOM politician
as a matter of fact, a particular leader in the Caribbean came out and said he's not trying to be popular like some people trying to be, he was referring to her. You understand?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But anyway, remember...
I'll pass for now.
Yeah. So let me go. Hello, caller.
Good morning, Kun.
Good day to you.
Yeah.
Usually we have long talks, but today I want to get you my clip, so I want you to be succinct.
Yeah, I just want to say that it's obvious that we're in need of recalibrating our foreign policy.
Yeah.
For some reason, the leaders seem to think that mouthing off things like they're friends and all this kind of thing are impressing them.
Yeah.
They're not. They're not impressed by things like that. Okay? And so you would think, for instance, that the EU has developed a policy, a new policy where they want the CBI ended. You would think that they will all come together and decide on a policy in response to that. But no. Each individual country is going to come up with something just to outdo the other country.
The other, yeah.
That's not really competition.
And that is why the monies that we started with way back when it first started kept going down and down to rock bottom, because everybody trying to undersell.
Do each other.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it is such a short-sighted policy, and they just don't see it. Antigua want to be able to say, well, look, we had get this concession, and Dominica didn't get it. St. Kitts want to say, well, we got this concession, and St. Vincent didn't get it. That's foolishness.
Yeah.
And
hear this too. If you listen to what the American lady was saying, if you visit our citizenship by investment, it's the same thing they do, because it is our citizenship by investment. But yet still the main people who are marketing it, somehow we don't feel our local people can market it and make the money. So we go and we employ them, and they make the bulk of the money, and governments get this little smattering, and then you hear, over time you hear we had how much, 2-point-something billion, but it's nothing compared to what they made.
To what they made. And that is so obvious. This thing was set up terribly from the start, okay? And it just continued.
Yeah.
Whereby the lion's share, just like in any, we're the primary producers, and it's the secondary people who refine it get all the rewards from it.
Yeah.
I don't know why they don't wake up and smell the coffee, so to speak.
Yeah. Anyway, I want to get back to my clips.
Right.
So I'm going to go revisit this lady who's supposed to be the foreign ambassador. And remember, the issue is, does our leaders represent us as opposed to what the Americans' interest is? So we're going to go back to this foreign minister we're talking about America, the big superpower of the world, right? They can print their own money, they can do this, they can do that, but yet still they want to bleed little Caribbean countries. So listen, let's go back to her.
There's a growing sense that gang violence is becoming more of a problem throughout the Caribbean, and growing concern that some of this is a spillover effect from Haiti, which has been really had a big problem with gang violence. Any thoughts on how best the United States can work with Jamaica in order to bring that problem under control?
Well, thank you for the question. Thank you for mentioning Haiti. I know that not only is the United States taking an active role with the gang suppression force down there, but Jamaica is as well. Jamaica has some very talented individuals that are on the ground. I think the second in command, from what I understand, in this gang suppression activity that's happening and the work to stabilize Haiti is a Jamaican. So it's in Jamaica's interest, it's in the United States' interest, it's really in the Caribbean interest to make sure that we can solve some of the serious problems in Haiti, and we'll be focusing on that if confirmed.
Now you notice they're doing in the Caribbean the very same thing they did in the U.S. to the black people. When Reagan came in, and then followed by Bush, there was say no to drugs, say no to crime. But yet still, how they dispense justice across the black and the white is two different things. If a black person does a misdemeanor, he gets jail. But when a white person does big crimes, you hear, oh, well, maybe they have some issues, home issues, and blah, 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 and they do their best to make sure that they get suspended sentences, or they put on this thing where they don't really serve time in prison. They're outside and they have to do rehabilitative things in their communities. So now you look at the American prisons and you realize it's full and overflowing with black people. And that is what they want to do in the Caribbean. And if our leaders aren't careful, this is what they will do. When they want to have a SSZ or whatever over there and have their own jurisdiction and their own laws, this is their intent. You heard the person who wants to push it saying, St. Kitts Nevis has a big crime problem. When did we get a big crime problem? I remember growing up when you had a murder maybe. I remember for a major part of my growing up as a young boy, we didn't have a murder. And then there was a murder on Nevis way back, and that was a big thing. And then we started to have these crimes. Let's be realistic. We started to have these crimes when Caucasians started to come here, and with them came drugs. And our young people and other individuals got caught up in how you're going to transship the drug from through the Caribbean region to the American mainland. And they saw it as making money, and it created all kind of problems. Now, they're speaking about, you hear them talking about gang violence in Jamaica. Let's look at that. Again, if you're not informed, who made sure that this gang thing became so big? By not looking after their societies and communities and making sure you follow along political lines, and you created a big crime that you can't deal with. It was the politicians in Jamaica who created garrisons. So it was the Labour Party against the whatever. And so are our politicians working in our benefits? And we as a people are sitting, I keep telling you, you sit down and you're quiet, but there's a storm coming. And if we continue to remain quiet, our leaders will speak to us the way they've been speaking to us, and the way we hear the Jamaican leaders speaking to the Jamaican people. And we're just drinking it up because, as I said, we have a certain level of comfort that we will lose quite quickly. Hello, caller? Hello, caller?
Quinn,
Yeah.
Remember how our gang situation started?
A particular individual, yeah. Yeah.
Exactly. And we remember when Labour had won the election, who led the motorcade? Listen, a lot of this stuff was imported into the Caribbean.
That's it.
And then they want to complain. Oh, you got a gang problem, or you have a drug problem, like and a murder problem. Like gun is not manufactured in the Caribbean, drugs is not manufactured there. It was imported.
Yep.
And a lot of the leaders, and they're talking about gang in Jamaica. Come on, that's the least place they should talk about gang in Jamaica, because the politicians them stink up in it. In Jamaica.
They created it. That is why, yeah.
There was a place in Jamaica. I remember one year we went there for church, Tivoli Garden. Listen, Quint, when we went there for church, the church had to get permission from the gang leader. When we got there for the church to have church in the park, the wall line off gangsters.
Well,
you know what he tell them? Make sure you don't mess with the church people.
Yeah. Well, let me give you let me give the audience a little bit of a history lesson to show you how the politicians push crime in their own countries. They don't look after the various communities. The communities become so desperate. Then the politicians push you in a position where you either decide whether you're going to be Labour or you're going to be that, and then depending if you're Labour, just drawing a hypothetical, because Labour is all over the Caribbean, they're going to make sure that Labour garrison has a leader. They're going to make sure that leader, once he's in there, he can do whatever he wants. But here's what happens. Sometimes the leaders, because they come from the society, some of them have a conscience, And this is why sometimes when they go against the law and the law tries to go in for them, the people protect them, because some of these leaders end up doing more for their garrison than the politicians.
But exactly, if you Google Mountain View in Jamaica, right? There's a gang leader up there that he was in prison. And one of the first things Andrew did when he went in power was to release that gang leader in Mountain View.
Yeah.
That was one of the first things he did when he won, was to release him.
So here's...
They call him 1-2.
Yeah. So here's the history lesson. There was a particular leader. You remember when we hear all over the media that Bob Marley got 2 politicians to go on stage? You remember that? No one tells you there was a gang leader behind that. That gang leader was so concerned about what was happening in his Jamaican country that he decided to make a change, and he didn't want to be moving in the way of crime. So he decided that he was going to ignore the politicians who were trying to keep them oppressed, and he wanted to push for peace and unity. And he left Jamaica. They don't tell you this. This is why our media intentionally, I have to say intentionally because they know this, our media intentionally keeps the truth away from us. This gang leader left Jamaica because remember that Bob Marley had gone to, he was in I think he was in England, he was in Europe. This gang leader went to Bob Marley and enticed Bob Marley to come to Jamaica and be the go-between these politicians coming on stage and doing this thing. But all we see is Bob Marley getting on stage and having a speech, and these leaders come together. But no one told you a gang leader was behind that. And you know what they did to that gang leader? Because that gang leader wanted to change and he was no longer following this politician, this party against that party, when that gang leader went to a particular event and he was heading home, the police and the army, let me repeat that again, the police and the army held him up killed him and two other individuals. There was a court case. They knew who had done it, and not one of those individuals got imprisoned.
But Quinn, remember our big gang leader that we had. Remember, in Jamaica he trained. Remember, he was one of Manley's bodyguard.
I don't really, Cleo. I want you to say alleged in certain things if you're not sure, because I don't know. Yeah.
Remember, allegedly, when he came out to Jamaica, he was supposedly dead. A judge allegedly saw him in a casket, but he ended up in taking.
Yeah.
Okay, so all of what we have was imported.
It was imported. Yeah.
Gone.
Okay. So I did play the second clip with her, so I'm going to bounce back to another clip with the Prime Minister of Jamaica, and this one I entitled the best deals for Jamaicans, right? Remember, he's the Prime Minister of Jamaica. So far, we've not heard him say anything that really benefits the Jamaican people, even though the way I titled them should suggest that is his intention and that what he will do. But he contradicts those titles with his statements. So this one is entitled with the best interests or the best deals for Jamaica. So listen to this.
We were very deliberate in what we do.
Let me pull it back from
We were very deliberate in what we do. We considered carefully because we understand the Jamaican public, the Jamaican psyche, and how Miss Matty in Northeast Manchester is going to view it as if, the US is coming to dump unwanted persons in our country to create a problem for us. The issue is far more than that and deeper than that, and nobody's looking to dump. Nobody's looking to create a problem. Now, was our hands forced? Were we coerced? Absolutely. My Jamaican people, you have in me and in my government a prime minister and ministers who stand up for you, who seek to get the best deals for you. I listened keenly to the response of the leader of the opposition to the TCN program. And I noticed he did not say he wouldn't have done it. I noticed he didn't say we should reject it. He said, well, it's just a pity it had to come out in this way. We should have come to the public before. But as anyone knows, and I've explained before, you can't come until you are finished with all the negotiations. Everything is signed and done. So though we have signed the MOU, it is not yet implemented.
Yeah. So listen again. Listen, this is the Prime Minister of Jamaica, He's working for the best deals for his people. But we heard what Marco Rubio said. But he doesn't know that He doesn't know that we hear what. So hear how he puts it? You hear how he puts it? Nobody's trying to dump, and then he says, were we coerced? Were our hand ties? Definitely. So he admits at least that they are being pushed and abused. He admits it. But you want to tell me you understand this and yet still you're not working for unity? Huh? And how could this be for the best interest of... And he's speaking about this very same thing to do with these people who they want to send to the Caribbean, and we're hearing the spin that all of our Caribbean leaders is telling us that these are not bad people. These are good people. But you heard Marco Rubio. And then he goes on to say, I notice he didn't say he's not going to take the deal, I notice he didn't say he would refuse it. So we're not doing anything, we're not taking anything that the rest of them didn't do. You understand what the man is telling you? The man is saying, well, look, Antigua takes some, St. Kitts takes some. So we're not doing anything different. But again, I'm going to play for you when he talks about dumping and no one wants to dump. I have to go back to Marco Rubio's statement. Listen, this prime minister is trying to tell us no one wants to dump anything bad on you, but listen to Marco Rubio.
We are actively searching for other countries to take people from third countries. So we are actively, not just El Salvador, we are working with other countries to say, we want to send you some of the most despicable human beings to your countries. Will you do that as a favor to us? And the further away from America, the better, so they can't come back across the border. I'm not apologetic about it. The president was elected to keep America safe and to get rid of a bunch of perverts and pedophiles and child rapists out of our country.
Yeah, so what is it really? Huh? I've played 4 different clips with the Jamaican leader, and each one of them is headed in a way that should represent the interests of the Jamaican people. And in not one of them so far has he represented the Jamaican people. In the last one, he's trying to bamboozle and pull the wool over his own people's eye that he will accept these people because nothing wrong. They ain't sending no bad people. That is what we've heard from even our own. And this is why I say, and again, where is our Caribbean media? I'm an individual. All I do, I'm not like most people, I don't waste a lot of time on the internet. If I go on the internet, it's for a specific purpose to find a specific thing, something that comes up in my mind, or I hear a conversation and I know what I'm going for. I don't waste time. I've got too many things to do. But these people are media individuals. That is your job. It is your 8 hours a day or 24/7 job. So why is it that I'm an individual? I'm no journalist. I didn't study journalism, but I can go and I can find some clips. Because all you have to do is, if you have a topic, for instance, you type in Jamaican Prime Minister, and the most recent issues with him is going to come up. And depending on the issue, if it has a heading to do with a foreign minister and her name, you type in that. And then you're going to hear some things from her. And you're going to listen to that. And if he says, I don't want to dump and something to do with foreign, the exchange of these individuals, then you type and next thing you know, lo and behold, you might see a Marco Rubio thing clip, and you're going to see a lot of them, and you have to, and then bam, you put up on this one. You say, wow, I didn't know that, but I'm no journalist. Hello, caller. Hello, caller. Hello, caller.
So Quinn, who's lying, Rubio or Andrew?
Well, Rubio told us plain he's not apologizing. He's not lying. He's straight.
But it's amazing, right? The Caribbean can take the people who Rubio considers to be garbage or nobody and dump them in the Caribbean. But yet in Jamaica, the police force shooting down the young men them down there who they consider to be gang or consider to be not so right. They go start to kill innocent babies because they go in a house and shoot up a house and don't care who dies.
Yeah.
But they could take who Rubio dumped down there. And so we helping out our friends. While your police force kill the young man, and when they don't even kill, when they kill them, they don't even treat them with dignity. They pick them up and dump them on the back of a truck like garbage, and then they go in parliament and say, yes, that's what we must do with them. Dump them on the back of the truck like garbage.
Yeah, because they have indoctrinated us over time that we must go after each other. We must kill each other, and when we do that, then they say, but look at them. This is why for so many years they said we couldn't govern ourselves,
And this is why, because you talk about the United Nations, and then they talk about cleaning up this and clean. How can somebody clean up what they created? You created the mess, but you want to say you coming in for human rights when you oppress people yourself.
Well, I keep telling people, if you follow the history, the World Bank, the IMF, and and what's that other one? The World Bank, the IMF, and the United Nations. 3 of them were created right after the Second World War. Right after the Second World War. And they were created for a reason. Google and find out. It is there for you to find out. It is not, these things are not hidden, you know.
Boy, I tell you, life is unfair. You create the mess and then you want to come pretend that you're cleaning it up. Quinn, I don't know if I'm going to call back, but this is good. So that's why I keep calling you. Sorry to keep bothering you. But
No, you're not bothering me. I love the interaction.
Anyway, I'm going to come off so somebody else can call in.
Yes. Okay. So I'm going to take another commercial break, and when I get back, we play another clip.
WINN is 98.9. 98.9 is Win FM.
Come, build with us at Hostels Building and Nevis Centers. We don't just sell materials, we help you build your dreams. Whether it's a new home, a renovation, or DIY project, we're here to make it happen. That's why we say, build with us. From foundation to finish, come to our stores where we have the best in building materials, hardware, tools, paints, expert advice, and more. Whatever you need, you can count on us. So if you're ready to get started, build with us. With Hostels Building and Nevis Centers, you're not just building a structure, you're building a future. Let us help you create something amazing. Dream with us, plan with us, grow with us, build with us. Come build with us at Hostels Building and Nevis Centers today. Build with us at Hostels.
It's in the feeling and how we talk. It's in the meaning and our spot. It is the thing that sets us apart. Who we are. 'Cause the rhythm of life keeps bumping. Together going strong. No matter what, we keep things flowing. We people, we will go all in. Our hands up in the sky. Celebrating. Come let your rhythm flow.
Who says you have to wait until December to enjoy a little Christmas magic? This July, TDC Home and Building Depot invites you to celebrate Christmas in July, a month of exciting discoveries, incredible value, and reasons to visit again and again. Every week, look out for featured products with something new from Monday to Thursday. Then on Friday and Saturday, you'll get another chance to grab all of the week's featured deals. And because every Christmas comes with a gift, you'll find savings of up to 75% off selected items throughout the promotion. Whether you're tackling your next home project, upgrading your space, or simply looking for a great bargain, there's something waiting for you at TDC Home and Building Depot. Christmas in July begins July 1st. Visit TDC Home and Building Depot and celebrate the reason of giving in the middle of the year.
And the time, 26 minutes moving away from the 11 o'clock hour. At 12 o'clock, it's the WinFM headline or midday news. Up until then, I'll be keeping you company. And so far, I've been playing some clips that I chose so that if you want to, you can be enlightened as to the kind of leaders that we have in our proximity. The kind of black leaders we have not only here in the Caribbean, but around the world, and specifically the Caribbean and Africa. This is why we as a people have been oppressed for so long. Hello, caller?
Yes, Quint, good day.
Yes, good day.
And greetings to you in Jesus' name, the only Savior of sinners from the sins and from hell, through faith only, by the gospel only, in Jesus only, according to the Bible only. Now, is it possible I could speak on a local issue, or is it just this topic?
Well, I would prefer if you stick with this topic, but I'm going to give you some leeway because, I don't want to handicap you. But if it's another issue, go ahead but be succinct.
Okay. Well, first, as I think you know, the members of Collision Band, they got arrested. And I think after that, they got on bail. Now,
Oh, why would that happen? I was not aware of that.
Yes, it's supposed to be in connection with the funeral for Chubby,
Yeah.
the lead singer.
Yeah.
Yes. And I am guessing, I have my guess as to what it is to do, because I believe it have to do with the video that was circulating. But what
look, remember, I don't know about this, eh? So when when you come, I don't want you to if it is something that you can enlighten us on, do so. Don't come and drop thing and then you go and we're none the wiser. So did you see a video?
Yes, there was a video.
And is there anything in the video that you can divulge without it being incriminating? Or so let us know.
Yes, okay. You're not trying to be extra careful because I don't want WinFM get anything.
Yes,
but
so that's what I'm saying. Be careful.
I can word this properly enough.
Yes, yeah.
I believe I can word this properly enough. In the video that was so circulating, okay, a senior member of the police force gave a girl a very hard chuck.
Yeah.
That chuck, if the grace of God wasn't having she hand to hold on the trailer, that girl could have fallen to the ground and fall under the wheel of the trailer, okay?
Yeah.
Because of that hard chuck that senior person of the police force gave the girl. And the girl very lot smaller in body than him.
Yeah.
Okay? Now, in doing the girl that, somebody on the truck made some, might be interpreted as threatening language.
Mm.
Okay? Can be interpreted as threatening language. And I think that is
the reason why they were locked up.
Have some delay, put it this way. I think that have a contributing factor. It might not be all, but I think that have at least a contributing factor.
But when you
arrested.
when you started, you said that the members of the collision band. So I would assume I got the impression that it was the majority of them.
Well, I don't know if it is all of them, but it's definitely more than one of them.
Okay,
I think I see maybe up to 4 or 5, something like that.
Okay, so in the future, you have to be clear. Don't say the members. Say some of the members. And say it seems or apparently because you're not sure, but
I'm not sure if it is all or some. But from what I read,
because my question was because hearing what you outlined, I always try to visualize things in my head, and I'm seeing it like, okay, so I see this police, he gives this woman a chuck, someone or one or two on the chuck says, man, you shouldn't do that. You know how these young people can be and blah blah blah. But I couldn't see.
Probably threatening.
But I couldn't see where all of the members should be arrested. So that is what had me kind of puzzled until I asked the question, and you clarified. Some of them were.
At least, Mark, from what I read, the writing was members of collision band.
Yeah.
That is what I read. So I was just repeating what I read.
Okay.
I don't know if it is all. I don't know if it is some. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Okay?
Yeah.
No.
And this is again shows where the media drops the ball, because the caption should have been some members of the collision band. When you say members, it leaves it broad. You understand? And one would think the members, meaning all, and then you would question, well, why would you lock up all the members? So again, the media must do its job precisely and make things as clear. That is why I asked you to be clear, because I didn't know I'd heard something about, I think I'd heard you mention on a prior occasion about a chucking, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
But I didn't know the extent and the detail. Okay, so yeah.
Okay, but later on, hold on. But after the chucking and so, okay? After the chucking, with the funerals, about maybe a few days after that, I think the fellow who made the comment that could be interpreted as threatening to the member of the police force, he made an apology.
Yes.
And the band I think made an apology as well. The band made an apology.
Yeah.
He made an apology to the to the officer.
Okay. Yeah.
No. I think as well for endangering that lady's life.
That he should also make an apology.
Yeah, he should have also made an apology. And not only that, there was a second video as well, as I mentioned, where two police, and in the presence of a prosecutor, was said on a videotape to have been, and I saw the video too, but I couldn't see properly to know if the beating was going on. But the person who was videotaping said that I tape y'all and y'all were beating the man, and the man was handcuffed on the ground naked.
Yeah, wow.
And that the person was going to post the video on Facebook so saying his people could see. I think something should also have been said about that matter as well.
Yeah.
So to me, the police is giving the impression, like I said, that they're big, they're bad, they can do as they feel like, and you cannot do nothing about it. And we are the same people who are going to come to ask to work with them to fight crime.
Well, I'm glad you said that and you did that, because that brings up a question, brings into play what I was speaking about, where the politicians way back in Jamaica created an environment for these things to happen. So I'm going to say this.
Yes.
We love our police. And when I walk around in St. Kitts Nevis, for the most part, our police, they're doing a damn good job. But there are always some bad apples somewhere in there. And so to the commander, to the head of the police, I'm saying, and I want you to take keen, be aware of this. Be aware of the things that your officers do, because you don't want your officers to create an environment that is hostile with the public. Because it is when you do these things, animosity builds up in the various communities, and so they mistrust the police, and it is hard for you to mend those things that have already happened. So I know it isn't the majority, but even that little smattering can tarnish the police in a big, big way. And I agree with you. If it is that, I mean, the police have a job to do, and you may say, okay, you know, they have to enforce. But remember, you're dealing with human beings. And this is again where they use a divide and conquer, because police have this way of referring to us as civilians, as if though they are not civilians too. When you take off your uniform and you mingle with everybody else, yeah, you're still employed by the police, but you're a civilian. You understand? Yes. So stop letting this divide and conquer, where you feel that because you're police, you're on a higher echelon than the people who you serve. Okay? Yeah. So you got to be careful, because
corrective measures need to be taken, because if you don't take corrective measures, as I said, people are going to get more and more negative towards you.
Yeah. And
you want those same people to work with you to fight crime.
Yeah, we want community policing. That is what we want. And I've heard the police speaking about that a lot, community policing. And for the most part, they've been doing that. So whenever you slip up, acknowledge it. Don't think that because you're police, you're look, I'm a big man. I'm 67 years old. And if I make a mistake to a younger person, I don't hesitate. I say, look, I'm sorry, I didn't know it doesn't matter, that person could be 10 years old.
Right.
Quint,
when you have a bad apple, like we say, we speak about bad apple, but let me ask you a question. When you have a bad apple among others, you know what does happen?
Yeah. That is what I said.
It make the others bad. If it is not removed, if it's not
addressed, yes,
it make the others bad.
Yeah, because they see examples and they follow it.
Exactly.
And then sometimes, I'm not saying this has happened here, but we've seen that happen in the U.S. with their police force. There's this older police, and he's been doing these bad things for so long, and younger police come in, and he intimidate them. Sometimes these younger police, they said to him, we have cases where younger police said to the older one, but no, you shouldn't have done that. That is wrong. And he says, you know who I am, and blah, blah, blah. And next thing, the other older police gang up on the younger police, and they threaten him, and he feels, well, and eventually over time, he just conforms. So you've got to cut these things in thing. For the most part, again, I say, police, look, you've heard me say over and over, I was a juvenile delinquent, you know. I was a juvenile delinquent.
You said it not more than once.
And some of the people who helped me were police. Yeah?
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
There's a particular police, he's called, I think they call him the sheriff. I think he's retired now. And I remember a particular instance that I had, and this was when I was a grown man now, no longer a juvenile delinquent, but to do with my kid's mother and monies and so forth. And there was this bigger, more senior police, and this man was moving on me like vicious, man. You understand? This man was, imagine, right? Imagine you say that I owe for child support, right? So you come where I'm supposed to be residing, but you come with a gun already out. Yes. Could you imagine that? And this is what the senior police. So I was down in a basement. Yes. I was down in a basement with the woman who I was involved with at the time, her daughter, and I just happened to look out the door, and I see a gun come across the door. I mean, I see a gun, and next thing a hand follow the gun, and next thing this senior police and he looks and he sees me and he says, "Oh, I thought you was gonna run." And I'm thinking to myself, you say I owe child support, and you come for me, and you come with a gun, hoping I would run so you could
shoot you.
Yeah. And that police, I'm not going to call any name, but that police wind up getting shot over in Frigate Bay, right? Because something happened over there, and he went over there, and next thing I heard, he got killed. And I heard a lot of people saying all kind of nice thing about him, he was good and blah, blah. But I didn't have any nice thing to think about him because I knew him. Right. I knew he wasn't. But when that senior police locked me up, all the way he carried me to the St. Paul's prison. You understand? Yeah. St. Paul's. He's saying things like, "Boy, she gonna kill you. You know, you're gonna go jail, and you're going and the amount gonna rise up. And when you come out, when you're trying to pay that, she gonna summon you again, and you're going dead in jail." This is what the senior police was saying to me, you know. But next to him was another police who wasn't a senior. Yeah. And I remember when he put me off and he said to his subordinate, he said, "Look, when you put him in that cell, make sure he don't talk to nobody. You understand? And make sure the first thing in the morning when you come to Bastille, make sure you come straight over to the big jail." This is what he said, you know.
It's not good at all.
And he's saying that because he know as long as that other police does what he says, and I go straight over to the big jail, all kind of paperwork have to go. You got to get magistrate. You got And when he left, I'm speaking to the police now to show you they are good police. And me and that police, we're friends up to this day. And he's not the only one. You understand? There were others. I won't call their name. But this particular police, he came to me and he said, I was in the cell and he said, "Bro, what happened to you, man?" And so I explained to him, you know. I explained to him the situation, and I said, "Look, and I showed him I had X amount of money on me, you understand? And I said, the woman who I was with at the time, she knew I had this money, and she wanted me to give her this money. And I said, no, I can't give you this money. I've been giving you money, but if I give you this money, you're not going to give me back. And next thing when they come for me, you know, it wasn't all the money I needed, but it was almost all the money. You understand?
Right.
So the police now he better understood the situation. And when he brought me to Barcia the next morning, I remember him saying he said to the police in there, he said, "Look, don't let him over there in the big jail. Do not," and he said that 3, 4, 5 times. "Do not climb over there in the big jail. Do not climb." He know what's going to happen. You understand? And because he didn't do that, however they got in contact with my mother, even though I was a grown man and me and my mother always had, look, I've been involved with women, and my mother, she was a very hard person, but when it comes right down to it, my mother was still always there for me. You understand? And it is my.
I want to believe I know your mother, Anna. Yeah. And the person who have in mind, she's a very good and nice person. She's still alive?
No, she died a year
She
or
died.
four.
I think I know your mother.
Yeah.
Me and she, if you tell us what happened, man, when
Yeah.
we see each other, we used to call out to each other and talk, and she would say, Greg.
Yeah, she
and
knew
that
you.
sort of stuff.
She knew you. She knew you because I remember one time she told me. She said, you know, in something to do with your wife, right? And she said,
Okay.
she said, because I knew your wife, okay? And she said,
Yes,
she said, well, she was married to Greg.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes,
So
yes,
so yeah.
yes.
So
Yes, I knew your mother. When she see me, she said, Greg, Greg.
yeah.
And we
So
talk and say if we get time. It's a very nice lady.
so I say that to say, man, look, I could not survive if it didn't have good police.
Right.
So they are good police, and the majority
Yes, they are.
and the majority of them are good, but there are some bad ones in there, and you have to weed them out.
And if corrective measures are not taken by the appropriate personnel in the force, the corruption is only going to spread because that's what bad apple does.
Yeah. So glad for
Anyway,
that.
thank you.
Glad for that story there.
God bless. Jesus Christ is the King of all kings and the Lord of all lords. Take care, Quint. God
Yeah. Okay. So I'm glad he brought that story because we were able to look at a few things, and we know as a society, we know that most of our police, they're good. We see them, we mingle with them. You pass, you say, hi, they're not their head, you know. They're serious, they have their work to do, but they're not monsters, the most of them. I know that, right? There have been many occasions when I got help because there were police there who understood the situation and were sympathetic. Hello, caller.
Hi, Quint. Good day. How are you doing?
I'm fine. And you?
Yes, I'm doing pretty okay myself.
Yeah.
I want to thank you for continue to try to educate us, the masses, and to bring up, to broaden our understanding of things. I was fascinated with the tapes that they play with wholeness.
Yeah.
But the hallmark for that set with the first tape that you played, when he would have said to the reporter, you want to take me back to the 70s?
Yeah.
And then later, I am not a revolutionary.
You know?
Which means what wholeness has done is to say that the fight and the struggles of those in the past,
Yes.
he threw that behind him.
That's it. That is why I referred to it, yeah?
And that he's not a fighter. He's not going to be fighting on behalf of the people and the masses of the people, because those before him in the 70s were fighting on behalf of the people.
Yeah.
No, he is not going to be fighting on behalf of the people, but he's basically going to be playing platitude to America.
That is what he's outlining. I mean, even by his words, you hear it.
But then, we have seen that attitude through the entire region, not only in our leaders,
That is there.
but even in the citizens. We pay a deaf ear and a blind eye to the past, straight behind us, and we're thinking about we only going to go forward from here.
Yeah. But
If we do not know our past, we don't know where we come from. We cannot truly appreciate what we have,
that's
and
it.
we cannot really plan a proper course for the future.
We cannot. Yeah.
And so when our Prime Minister, my Prime Minister Drew, would have said to me that he basically had negotiations with the Americans on this third party issue, third country citizens issue. Not only did he slam our brothers in Haiti, but he told us straight up that nobody with any questionable character will be allowed in.
Yeah.
Now that Marco Rubio has said what he said, has Prime Minister Drew came back and said to us he disagreed with Marco Rubio. I have not made any commitment to take in these kind of despicable people.
And hear this. If Marco Rubio, I mean, we heard him. If Marco Rubio is so bold as to say that, what can our leaders tell us to convince us otherwise?
Nothing. It is clear that they lied to us when the news broke. They did not want us to know what was there. And they have this mindset, Quint, that they are elected. And so because they're elected to serve, that they can do whatever they want because we elect them. And so this is their mindset. That told you all the citizens of St. Kitts and Nevis a clarification on this matter after hearing what Rubio said. And then it is concrete for me with wholeness. Because wholeness is saying that while Jamaica is full of crime, and while we are termed as a crime-ridden area, he is willing to take the most despicable out of America into Jamaica.
Yeah, but he
into the Caribbean.
But he's not saying it that way, you know. Notice how he put it, and this is why I said the people must be informed, because he's putting it like, when we in trouble, they help us. So only when we in trouble, we could help them. And he says, well, they have a problem with their immigration policy. So that is how he puts it. But he doesn't tell us the kind of people. If we didn't hear Marco Rubio, because Marco Rubio is pompous, you know. He's so pompous and arrogant that he doesn't feel he has to. He could feel he just could say, remember, this is the same Marco Rubio who went to Germany and addressed them and said, the Middle Passage benefited us, and we need to revisit that because that is an important part of our history. That is what he said. This is what this man, who, when you look at him, he looks like he has a mixture of our blood in him. But for whatever reason, he feels he's more white than the white. So he says the Middle Passage, it benefited us, and we're supposed to look at it in a context that we need to revisit the benefits that it brought us.
But we go back to wholeness response. The way he framed it was designed to deceive the people of Jamaica and to pacify them in accepting. Because the people of Jamaica is upset. Upset with him.
Yeah.
And so he did that to ease them. But if you want to help them with their border situation, why would you take the worst, the most despicable? Why you not tell him to send decent citizens?
And let me.
He's going to tell you that he's going to send rapists and murderers and the most despicable people. And you're finding some way to justify that.
And you hear in there, he said, we want our friends. I mean, can you get more bold than that? A man looks you in the face and says, the most despicable rapists, murderers, this, that, and we want you to help us as our friend.
America is not our friend, Quint. America are using us. When you have Donald Trump, who is a crypto billionaire, who is up in arms with Elon Musk. When you have Jensen, who won Destiny Nevis, claim that he has investment with Elon Musk in SpaceX industry. All of these people want a place where they could hide their money, their crypto money, and channel their crypto money wherever they want to go. They want to use us for their end. America is not our friend. America is not friend of anybody. The first country in the Caribbean that they destroyed was Haiti. They want to destroy Venezuela. They want to destroy Cuba. They're going to try to destroy all of us because they're about themselves and nobody else.
And they will succeed because, see, you speak about Venezuela, you see Venezuela had a very, very vicious earthquake and what it has done to them. And you see America is pushing in a lot of money. Then next thing you hear in the news, a lot of young children are missing now. And children who were not lost in the first place, all of a sudden they're missing. And remember we had that happen in Haiti when they went down to Haiti, said they're going to help, and next thing you know what what was that president name? The Clintons were involved with this thing to do with, you hear their name calling in this thing to do with the smuggling of children and all that kind of stuff. So we in the Caribbean, we've got to be careful because there are these pedophiles out there and they will just take our children, and next thing you know, those children end up all over the world and they just abuse them for all kind of different things. but they come in whenever we're vulnerable. They come in the name of helping you. Not that we don't want help, but we've got to scrutinize these people.
America is not helping us. Whatever they are offering, they are offering because they see something else that they want. It's just like Destiny. This guy wants what he wants, and so he's offering us $100 and $30 and $1.
Imagine
and
that. Imagine that.
Because their mind is set on what they want, the bigger picture that they're looking at. And they have no qualms in giving us a few $1 million or a few $1 billion to get what they want. Because look at the situation in Nevis. The Premier is boasting about a dialysis, not a dialysis unit, a CT scan machine, I think it is, that was donated to him by calling up a friend. And it cost little over $1 million.
Yeah.
But then the evidence come out now that he would have given the same individual close to $100 million in tax break. And so the man had no problem in giving him
Tulu, I respect you. I want you to, whenever you're, I would prefer if you interject, it is alleged as often as you can.
It is alleged.
I want you to make, I want you to make that a habit, okay? I want you, whenever you're saying things, certain things, you always make sure you say it is alleged before, okay?
Okay, let me take it back, all of that, and say that it has been alleged that the gentleman has gotten close to $100 million in tax break.
Yes.
Okay? And so he had no problem to give you $1 million or $2 million because he knows that he has in the palm of his hand and you're going to give him whatever he wants down the line.
Well, we saw that.
So they're using it.
Well, we saw that with this individual who was doing the movies and so forth, and you see what he acquired since he came here. He came here and he imagine you come here and you're supposed to be doing some things to benefit us, but you wind up benefiting so much more, and all we got today is to say you did some movies, and we can't really see the financial input. And no one can go and account it and say, well, the financial input so far into the economy of St. Kitts Nevis by this individual is X amount of dollars. But we know what he has gotten, including the alleged purchase of OTI and yeah.
To you, this got you heard about the newfound thing in Nevis, where the previous CCN government so newfound, they say, 600 acres of land on the island of Nevis to do this big hotel development. Newfound did not input on a stone. We are told that they were given the title even before they paid off for the land. That is alleged. And they were given the official title to the land for them to use the land as collateral to raise funds to come back and do a development.
That is what they do, and that is what they intend to do with this SS whatever.
Yeah.
This is why they want the land. And it amazes me. It amazes me that our leaders can't situate. Is it that our leaders are so desperate for things to accommodate them in the development of our country that they are grasping at straws? You want to tell me you don't see that they're getting more out of you than what you're getting out of them?
That could be a possibility, but I look at it from a different perspective. I ask myself the question all the time, what are they getting?
Well,
we're talking about the country.
Well,
what is they sweeten up their hands?
That is another good one too. That is another good one, because that now brings up the thing that perhaps they don't care about the St. Kitts Nevis. They care about how they will stand after they have left office.
That is absolutely true.
So that puts
Okay?
us in a
And
very,
so
very precarious position. Yeah.
They are willing to sell us out because of what they stand to benefit. Okay? And so we have lost a tremendous amount in this country. And we will continue to lose because our leaders are weak, they are gullible, and they're basically, as far as I'm concerned, they're for sale.
Anyway,
They are willing to give to whoever anything in order for them to get a little thing.
anyway, Tulu, I'm almost out of time. So
Okay.
yeah,
Thanks, my
thanks for
brother.
your
Good talking to you again.
thanks for your input. Yeah, so very interesting. And these are the things I want us as citizens, as you live your life, because nothing is wrong with you living your life. Nothing is wrong is getting the amenities that you want: a good car, good house, good-looking woman, children, a family, a home. Nothing is wrong with that. But what I'm saying is, while you're getting that, be aware of what is happening around you, because you may get that today, and tomorrow, when your children should be reaping the benefits of what you struggled for, they don't have it. Because as long as we put ourselves in a position where foreign individuals have the monopoly and the power, anything that we think we have now, we will lose it. Because power means what it says. It means they have the power to make policies that will put us in a very compromising position in the future. Hello, caller. I'm almost out of time, but I'm going to let you squeeze in.
Good morning, Quint.
Good day.
You know, it's a good day. You know, it's a very good program. I've been listening to you since morning, but I didn't have the number, so I now get the number.
Yeah.
Thank you for keeping us informed in what's going on. But you know what I want to say? How many kitchens are listening this? How many kitchens are listening, saying it's the Nevis people who are listening? How many?
Well, don't concern yourself. Hello, caller. Caller. Don't worry yourself about how many. What you do is, if you feel that there's something, you say to someone, you say, look, there's this program, and I think maybe you should, and it's up to them whether they want to hear or not. So start spreading the word.
Well, I does for sure.
Okay.
But you know what? Look at it. Marco Rubio is telling us straightforward. The people that they're sending to the Caribbean, he's telling us what is their character, who they is.
Yeah.
But listen when they come and speak to us. From the time I hear it from the Prime Minister in Antigua, now I hear this one in Jamaica, and all of them coming up. This one is not telling us what's going on. No, hear what he's saying now. That these people, he want them as far as possible from America. He want them as far as that they can come back across the border. You know? But look at it. All of the leaders is giving the impression that these guys is nicey-nicey. America in a run out nicey-nicey. Yeah? And to show you how they don't fool us for money. How they just keep us in the darkness for money. No. I want to win America. As long as they cannot control you, you is the worst for them. You listen now how they're talking about Iran?
Yeah.
They cannot control Iran.
Anyway, caller, we're over time, so I'm going to have to... The news is up next.
Okay.
Thanks for your input, though, and spread the word, like I said. Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. So, yeah, it's news time. We're going to have to cut for that. Thanks for your... Look, I have no bad intentions here. I lived a life, like I said, I lived a rugged life. I mean, you know, I've survived. I have no complaints. You know, I look back, I have no real regrets because I've often said I could not be who I am today if I hadn't been through what I've been through before, right? But I have no wicked intentions. I don't hate my leaders, but I am annoyed when my leaders don't seem to be following a path that would benefit us as a people. So all I'm trying to do is to put the spotlight on certain things and hope that our leaders will be wise enough to start learning our history and how you will use what you know about our history in the past to survive going into the future. Okay? News time.
We're different. We're 98.9. 98.9. Win FM.
Magnum, my brand. Everybody put a Magnum in the air now. From you a drink Magnum, make me see. Take charge of things now your place now. From the river to the beach to the street. Hot Magnum when me have in a me hand there. He are a sipper, she tell me sweet. Look for me watch for your quick time check. Yeah. Right now a Magnum for your beat. Enjoy yourself every day of the week with a Magnum. My life I forget sweeter. Must be 18 years and older to drink. Drink responsibly.
Luxury isn't just worn, it's won. Introducing the new Precious Jam Super Ticket from Caribbean Lottery. 4 games in 1 ticket, 62 chances to win, and the chance to multiply your prize up to 20 times.